Hello everyone, it's Quick Flash, back with another update video. Sorry that the last few updates haven't had any videos. Today I'll be covering those, but I'd like to start off by talking about this new version 0.1.23. Just to catch you up, this version includes the auto cell profile swapping, or whatever it's called, from Betaflight, which is where if you put in a 4-cell battery and then you put in a 5-cell battery, you can make the PIDs automatically change based on what voltage battery you're running. Another neat thing I've added is the motor output limiting, so that you can actually limit the amount that your motors are allowed to spin up to, not just your throttle. So that's a change that a lot of people have been asking for. Something else that you'll notice here is looking at my IMUF version. It's version 2.10. I've updated the IMUF. I've changed the way it calculates a few cutoff frequencies, and yeah, I'd like all of you to test that, see what you think. Mr. Noise from Ready Made RC has been testing it alongside with the dynamic notch filter turned on, and he's really been liking that combo. Yeah, so it'd be great to see what all of you think. Something else interesting to see here is, as you can see, I've changed the way that Feathered Pids works. So before, Feathered Pids was just an on-off switch, more or less a toggle. I've changed that as I've gone through the code and completely removed Feathered Pids from the code. Now, you might think that I'm crazy, but really, Feathered Pids was just a different way of calculating the D term. And so what I've done is I've put that new way that I've put the way that we calculated the D term in Feathered Pids into our other PID controller. And now there's a couple of reasons for this, and one of them is now you can actually run feed forward with Feathered Pids. Now, you see that Feathered Pids goes from 0 to 100, and what that means is if Feathered Pids is 100, it's just like you had Feathered Pids turned on. And if you set Feathered Pids to 0, it's just like you had Feathered Pids turned off. Now any number in between there will kind of merge the two ways of calculating D term together. So if you had Feathered Pids at 80, you'd have 80% Feathered Pids, 20% Feathered Pids off. And that's how your D term would be calculated. And now, yeah, I think that this has a decent amount of potential. If any of you know the difference between D term on measurement or D term on error, Feathered Pids is D term on measurement, and Feathered Pids off is D term on error. And now you can combine those two by messing with the Feathered Pids slider. Yeah, and then just anyone that's flying a non-Helio flight controller, any of the versions past version 1.20 and greater, those have a much better version of the Kalman filter, a lot closer to the Kalman filter that's running on the Helio flight controllers. So prop wash handling should probably be better with those versions compared to the older ones. There's still some things we need to port over from the Helio IMUF filter into the regular flight controller code, but we're working on that. And yeah, thanks all of you for testing, and if you have any questions, just ask away, and if you have any suggestions, let us know. And thanks for helping test. Have a good one.